Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about future time. When we want to express future time, we can use some structures. The first one is be going to and then will. Here is the timeline. Have a look at the timeline here. When the horizontal line is present moment, so the future is right here. So after present is the future. And then have a look at the example. Here is the explanation. Be going to and will are used to express future time. A and B have the same meaning. Have a look at the example here. A, I am going to leave at 9 tomorrow morning. B, I will leave at 9 tomorrow morning. A and B have the same meaning. And then have a look at C and D. C and D also have the same meaning. Mary is going to be at the meeting today. Mary will be at the meeting today. C and D have the same meaning. Have a look at here, there is an asterisk. Have a look at the notes about the asterisk below the table. Today, tonight, and this morning, this afternoon, this evening, this week, and so on can express present, past, or future time. For the present, here is the example. Sam is in his office this morning. So the activity happens right now. Sam is in his office this morning. And then for past, Anne was in her office this morning at 8, but now she is at a meeting. This sentence expresses past activity. It happened in the past, and then now she is at the meeting. And then future. Bob is going to be in his office this morning after his dentist appointment. Have a look at the example. It happens in the future. So for this kind of time signals, those can be in the present, in the past, and the future. It depends on the context. And then will and be going to often give same meaning, but sometimes they express different meaning. The differences of will and be going to in terms of the meaning can be discussed later. I shall leave at 9 tomorrow morning. We shall leave at 9 tomorrow morning. The use of shall with I or we to express future time is possible but infrequent. So shall is only used with I or we, not other subjects. Okay, we go on to the next material. Forms with be going to. Okay, here the examples and here is the explanation. Be going to is followed by the simple form of the verb as in A and B. We're going to be late. So after be going to, you must add be if there is no verb. And then for example B, she's going to come tomorrow. After be going to, there is verb 1. Incorrect, she's going to comes tomorrow. So you do not need to use this kind of additional s because after to, it must be verb 1. And then C. These are the examples of questions in the form of be going to. This is the form question be plus subject plus going to. Have a look at the example. Am with I. Am is the to be for I. Is he, she, it, and are they, we, you. So after the to be, you must put the subject and then going to and then the rest of the sentence. If there is no verb, you can use be. If there is verb, just put verb 1. And then for negative be plus not plus going to. Here are the examples. I am not, so put not after the two be's. I am not going to be late. He, she, it with is not going to be late. They, we, you, the to be must be are. They, we, you are not going to be late. Be going to is more common in speaking and in informal writing than informal writing. So be going to is more informal. In informal speaking, it is sometimes pronounced gonna. Gonna is not usually in a written form. Hurry up, we're gonna be late. Gonna substitute going to. Forms with will. Now we come to will, everyone. For the statement, subject here, will come tomorrow. Tomorrow is complement. And then negative subjects, will not or won't come tomorrow. Question, put will in front of the sentence and then the subject and then verb 1 and then the complement. Short answer, yes or no. If yes, so subject and then will. If no, subject, will, and then not or won't. Then have a look at the asterisk, and then the explanation of the asterisk is below the table. Pronouns are not contracted with helping verbs in short answer. So in short answer, you cannot contract will into subject, apostrophe, and then double L. In this one, the correct one, yes, I will. Incorrect, yes, I'll. So if it is in the short form of the answer, you cannot contract will into only apostrophe and double L. Okay, contractions. Contractions is a kind of shortening the long form into a short form. Will is usually contracted with pronouns in both speaking and informal writing. So will here is contracted into the short form after the pronoun, like I, you, she, he, it, we, they. And will is often contracted with nouns in speech but usually not in writing. Bob will, popular. Perhaps it often used in spoken but not in written form. The teacher will, the teacher will. Now the next material shows us about the future. When you are 100% sure about an activity in the future, you can use will or be going to. The speaker uses will or be going to because he feels sure about his future activity. He is starting a fact about the future. Here are the examples. I will be in class tomorrow, or I'm going to be in class tomorrow. These examples express 100% sure of the activity in the future. And then 90% sure. The speaker uses probably to say that he expects the subject to be in the class tomorrow, but he is not 100% sure. He is almost sure, but not completely sure. Word order with probably in a statement, as in P. Okay, here is the example. Helping verb plus probably. Have a look at the example first. Paul will probably be in class tomorrow. Or Paul is probably going to be in class tomorrow. So the placement of probably here for the statement, for positive sentence, probably is put between the helping verb and be. Or after the helping verb, you can put probably in positive statement. But for negative verb, as in C, probably plus helping verb. So probably is put before the helping verb for negative sentence. Anna probably won't be in class tomorrow, or Anna probably isn't going to be in class tomorrow. Can you see the differences between these sentences? I guess you can. So again, probably is placed after the helping verb will if you use this one in a positive sentence. Or for be going to, probably is put after the helping verb is, and then probably going to be, and the rest of the sentence. For negative, probably is put before the helping verb. Okay, then 50% sure. May expresses a future possibility. Maybe something will happen and maybe it won't happen. And then in D, the speaker is saying that maybe Ali will come to class or maybe he won't come to class. The speaker is guessing. If you want to guess something and it is for about 50% sure, you can use may. Ali may come to class tomorrow, or Ali may not come to class tomorrow. I don't know what he is going to do. So yeah, if you just guess something happen in the future, you can use may. It is 50% sure. And then the next one is maybe plus will. Be going to gives the same meaning as may. T and E have the same meaning. Maybe comes at the beginning of a sentence. Yeah, you can use may or maybe for 50% sure. For may is placed after the subject, and then after may you must have a verb. For maybe, it must be put in the beginning of a sentence. Maybe Ali will come to class, and maybe he won't. So after maybe you can have the sentence subject, verb, and then object or complement. Maybe Ali is going to come to class, or maybe he isn't. Okay, remember the placement of maybe is in the beginning of a sentence. Then we go on to be going to versus will. As in the previous slides, yeah, be going to and will can be the same in some cases, but in some other cases, be going to and will have the different meaning. Here are the examples. Be going to and will mean the same when they are used to make prediction about the future. A and B have the same meaning. Have a look at the examples. She is going to succeed because she works hard. She will succeed because she works hard. If you predict something, will and be going to have the same meaning. And then the next explanation within the box, be going to but not will is used to express a prior plan, i.e. a plan made before the moment of speaking. In C, the speaker plans to build a bookcase. Have a look at the example in C. I put some wood because I am going to build a bookcase for my apartment. So the speaker has a prior plan before the moment of speaking. So be going to is more appropriate than will. And then the next, will but not be going to, is used to express a decision the speaker makes at the moment of speaking. Indeed, the speaker decides to help at the immediate present moment. He did not have a prior plan or intention to help. Here is the example of will to express an immediate activity in the present. So there is no prior plan before. The speaker here makes a decision at the moment of speaking and there is no prior plan. This chair is too heavy for you to carry alone. I will help you. So the decision of helping someone is at the moment of speaking. So it is immediate present without any prior plan. And then the next material, expressing the future in time clauses and if clauses. In A and B, before I go to class tomorrow is a future time clause. Before I go to class tomorrow. This one is called as time clause because there is a subordinate conjunction and then subject and verb. Before I go to class tomorrow, I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm going to eat breakfast before I go to class tomorrow. Have a look at the sentences, the first and the second. Can you see the difference between the first and the second sentence? Hopefully you can. For the first one, the time clause is put in the beginning of a sentence. You need to put comma here. For time clause is put in the beginning of a sentence. If it is put after the main clause, you do not need any comma in between. And then before, after, when, as soon as, until, while, those are the subordinating conjunctions that are used in time clause, plus subject and verb. And the next example is about the simple present is a future time clause. So in time clause, you can use simple present. Will and be going to are not used in a future time clause. In time clause, you cannot use will and be going to. Have a look at the example here that is incorrect. Before I will go to class, I'm going to eat breakfast. After the subordinating before, you cannot use will or be going to because it is time clause. So that's why it is incorrect sentence. The next incorrect sentence, before I am going to go to class tomorrow, I'm going to eat breakfast. Here after the word before, there is be going to. So it is considered as incorrect because in time clause, we cannot use will and be going to. All of the example sentences, C through 8, contain future time clauses. Have a look at the examples here. All of those sentences contain time clauses. See, before I go home tonight, I'm going to stop at the market. So this activity happened in the future, but after the word before, this one is time clause, you cannot use will and be going to. Instead of using will and be going to, you can use simple present only, even though it is an activity that will happen in the future. And then D, I'm going to eat dinner at 6 tonight. After I eat dinner, I'm going to study in my room. This sentence also contains a time clause after I eat dinner. And here, actually, the activity also happens in the future, but you cannot use will and be going to because it is a time clause. E, I will give Rita your message when I see her. Okay, here, actually, the activity when I see her also happens in the future, but you cannot use be going to and will because it is a time clause. When I see her is a time clause. And then it's raining right now. As soon as the rain stops, I'm going to walk downtown. In this sentence, it also contains a time clause as soon as the rain stops. In time clause, you cannot use will and be going to even though the activity happens in the future. And then G, I will stay home until the rain stops. Okay, until the rain stops is a time clause, so do not use will or be going to, even though the activity is in the future. Just the same as the last example, while you are at school tomorrow, I will be at work. While you are at school tomorrow is a time clause. Again, you cannot use be going to and will. In point I, if it rains tomorrow is an if clause. If plus subject plus verb is caught as when the meaning is future, the simple present, not will or be going to, is used in an if clause. If the if clause happens in the future activity, when if clause is in the future activity, you also cannot use will and be going to. So not only time clause but also if clause cannot be followed by what we call it, will and be going to, if the meaning is in the future, if the activity is in the future. Maybe it will rain tomorrow. If it rains tomorrow, I'm going to stay home. Instead of using will and be going to, you must only use simple present. Okay, the next material using the present progressive to express future time. When you want to express future time, you can also use present progressive to express an activity happens in the future. Have a look at the explanation here. The present progressive can be used to express future time. Each pair of example sentences has the same meaning. The present progressive describes definite plans for the future, plans that were made before the moment of speaking. For be going to, as I have already explained before, it expresses an activity in the future that actually the speaker has already planned before, just the same as present progressive. If we use present progressive in the future, I mean present progressive for a future meaning, it means that the activity in the future is already planned before. There is a prior plan before the activity. So if you want to express an activity that has a prior plan, we can use be going to or present progressive to express such meaning. Okay. Have a look at the example here. Tom is going to come to the party tomorrow is the same as be. Tom is coming to the party tomorrow. So present progressive can also express the same as be going to. An activity in the future that needs a plan before. And then see, we're going to go to a movie tonight. We're going to a movie tonight. I'm going to stay home this evening is the same as I'm staying home this evening. And is going to fly to Chicago next week and is flying to Chicago next week. Between the first and the second sentence in a group of examples are the same in terms of meaning. Between be going to and present continuous in this case are the same. And then a future meaning for the present progressive is indicated either by future time words like tomorrow or by the situation. Have a look at the asterisk here. And here is the notes for the asterisk. Compare present situation. Look, Mary is coming. Do you see her? So here is about an activity that happens at present. And then future situation. Are you planning to come to the party? Mary is coming. So is Alex. And here, based on the situation, Mary is coming is not in the present moment but in the future. So if there is no time signal, you can see the the situation of the sentence to determine whether the sentence or the activity is in the present or in the future. And then the present progressive is not used for prediction about the future. In the speaker is predicting a future event. The present progressive is not possible. Laughing is a prediction, so not a planned future event. In this case, present progressive, present continuous cannot be used to predict event in the future. If it is a prediction, do not use present continuous. You may use be going to instead of present continuous to express an activity that is constituted as prediction in the future. Here is the examples. You are going to laugh when you hear this joke. So the activity of laughing is a prediction, so you cannot use present continuous. But you can still use be going to, because be going to also expresses an activity that is considered as prediction in the future. The incorrect one, you are laughing when you hear this joke. The first one is correct because it uses be going to. The second one is not correct because it uses a present continuous. Because the activity of laughing is a prediction, so you cannot use present continuous in this case. Then, using the simple present to express future time. Now we talk about simple present to express an activity in the future. In the previous slide, we have already learned about using present continuous to express an activity that is planned to perform. In this case, in this material, we talk about simple present to express an activity in the future. And here is the explanation. The simple present can express future time when events are on a definite schedule or timetable. So if you want to express an activity in a certain time or definite schedule in the future, you can use simple present. Only a few verbs are used in this simple present to express future time. So there are some verbs that can be used to express future time even though the structure is in the form of simple present. The most common are arrive, leave, start, begin, end, finish, open, close, and be. Have a look at the examples. My plane arrives at 7:35 tomorrow evening, and then P. Tom's new job starts next week. Okay, if you talk about a definite schedule in the future, you can use simple present to express future activity. And then the semester ends in 2 more weeks. There is a meeting at 10 tomorrow morning. Those are the examples of simple present expressing future event in a definite timetable or schedule. And then have a look at the next explanation. Most verbs cannot be used in the simple present to express future time. For example, in E, the verb where does not express an event on a schedule or timetable. It cannot be used in the simple present to express future time. Have a look at the example, and it is incorrect. I wear my new suit to the wedding next week. So wear is a verb that cannot be used to express future activity. Correct. I am wearing, or I am going to wear my new suit to the wedding next week. Instead of using simple present, you can use present continuous or be going to express an activity in the future. Because for the simple present that can express future time only for these verbs. Yeah. Hopefully you can follow my explanation. And then immediate future using be about to. Have a look at the explanation first, and then we go on to the examples. The idiom be about to do something expresses an activity that will happen in the immediate future, usually within minutes or seconds. In the immediate future, within minutes or seconds, you can use be about to. In A, Anne is going to leave some time in the next few minutes. Have a look at the example. Anne's bags are parked and she is wearing her coat. She is about to leave for the airport. So for immediate future, in seconds or in minutes, you can use be about to. The movie is about to begin, so it will begin in some minutes. You can use be about to express this kind of activity. And then we go on to the next, that is parallel verbs. Often a subject has two verbs that are connected by and. We say that the two verbs are parallel. Yeah, okay. We learn about parallel verbs. Verb plus and plus verb makes and cleans parallel verb. So in this case, if it is parallel verb, you must use the same structure for the verbs. I mean, if there is additional s, you must also add s additional for the second verb. Have a look at the example. Jim makes his bed and cleans up his room every morning. This one is the first verb, and then this one is the second verb, makes and cleans. Why is there an additional s here? Because the subject is Jim, he. So you must add as additional. It is not necessary to repeat a helping verb or an auxiliary verb when two verbs are connected by and. Have a look at B. And is cooking dinner and talking on the phone at the same time. And is cooking dinner and talking on the phone at the same time. So here is a helping verb, so you do not need to repeat this helping verb for the second verb. I will stay home and study tonight. So will is a helping verb. You do not need to repeat again for the second verb. I'm going to stay home and study tonight. Hopefully you can follow my explanation, and hopefully it is already clear for you. And for the last slide is a task for you to do. Exercise 33 up to 34, pages 80 up to 81. The book Fundamental of English. Thank you everyone for your nice attention. Good luck for you. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.